Hello student, in our last video we discussed the definition of argument, definition of premises and conclusion, definition of valid and invalid argument, also some rules of inferences and example on it. Now in our today's video we discuss the method to test the validity of argument. So there are three methods: truth table method, direct method and indirect method. But in our syllabus we have to discuss this direct method and indirect method. In direct method and indirect method, the rules of inferences are frequently used. So now we have to discuss the first one, direct method. Starting from the true premises, the process of reaching the true conclusion is known as the direct method. In shortly, we have to say, if this is our argument, we start from this premises, apply the rules of inferences over it, simplify it and find out our conclusion. If we have to get that conclusion, so we have to say it is a valid argument, otherwise it is an invalid argument. So we have to start from the premises, reach to the conclusion. So this is our direct method. So see here this example. In example, we have to mention that test the validity of following argument. So in an example, there is not any mention here which methods are used, either direct or indirect. So we write down that two example here. Among this one, first of all, we have to solve the P implies Q. First example, P implies Q, Q implies R. Therefore, negation P or R. So first of all, we have to write down here by using direct method. So here write down the first column for the step, second column for the reason. We write down this P implies Q as it is. But in our this whole argument, in our left hand side, which is contain only the two premises, P implies Q and Q implies R. So one of the rule is already studied in our rules of inferences, which is related to that two premises. See this one is a P implies Q, Q implies R. So our answer is a P implies R. See our answer, P implies R. This is our chain rule. So we write down here that P implies R. Chain rule on step first and second. So this is our simplification. But see, this is our conclusion. This is our conclusion. It is not P implies R. So check whether is it any simplification which is related to the P implies R, which is converted to this negation P or R. So this, see here, this rules of inference, conditional equivalency, P implies Q, which is equivalent to negation Q implies negation P, which is equivalent to negation P or Q. See this one. We have to need this type of the form. P implies Q and here negation P. P implies, so negation P, that Q keep as it is. See here, P implies R, so negation P, R keep as it is, and both contain this or sign, this negation P or, and we get our conclusion, this negation P or R. So hence the given argument is a valid. Next one is, so this is our second example, is in bracket P implies R implies negation S, Q implies R, comma P implies Q, comma S or T, therefore R. So again we have to write down by using the direct method, first column for the step, second for the reason. In our this method, direct or indirect, it is not necessary to start with the first premises or first proposition of our premises. We may use any proposition among our given premises. Those are helpful to apply the rules of inferences. So see here, this is all our proposition which is contained in our premises part. So see here, P implies Q and Q implies R. So again we have to use the chain rule and write down the first premises is the P implies Q. Second premises we have to write down as it is. And third one we have to write down its simplification. So P implies Q, Q implies R. So our simplification is a P implies R. And give the reasoning is a chain rule on first and second. Next one is So among these premises, these two premises is already, this two proposition is used. So there remains to use this proposition first and last. So see here, our simplification of P implies R, and in our first proposition, which is also start from P implies R. So write down that premises here. P implies R implies negation. So P implies R. So suppose this total represent as a P and this one total represent as a P. So if we have to P and then P implies something, so again we have to discuss one of the rule which is related to that concept. See here, P implies Q, comma P, so answer is a Q. Or maybe write down this same equation in this form also. This P in a first position, comma, P implies Q, P implies Q. See, both are the same. So answer is a Q. Same thing we have to done in our example also. P implies R, P implies R implies negation S. So both are the same. So answer is a negation S. Negation S. So we write down modus ponens using third and fourth. So that modus ponens using on third and fourth. So this is our negation S. Next one is, so first, second and third. These three propositions are used among our premises. So there remains S or T. So we write down S or T. So again one of the rule which is known related to negation S or S or T. So see, this one is negation P or P or Q. Negation P and P or Q. So answer is a Q. Negation Q and Q. So answer is a P. So see, negation S, S or T. So this is negation and S, so answer is a T. So we write down here disjunctive simplification using fifth and sixth. So our simplification is a T, which is not R. So we have to say, hence the given argument is invalid. Okay. So again we have to discuss one of the theoretical example. Those we have to solve by using this direct method. See that theory information. Team will win if and only if Tom is able to play. Second statement is that Tom is able to play or he is ill. Third one is he is not ill, comma, therefore team will lose. Not always it is necessary to given that information in one by one line. So maybe it become continue. So but see here, the first statement is completed here because here become dot. Here is also dot and this is also dot. Means up to this one we have to give one statement. It may be combined form or maybe it is in a simple form. So check, firstly we have to sort out in our theory information how many different statements are occurred. So see, first is team will win. So that team will win we have to indicate by variable P. Team will win. Next one is Tom is able to play. So Tom is able to play. So that statement we have to indicate by this Q. Next one is that. So see here again that statement is repeated here. Tom is able to play or he is ill. But he is ill is one of the different statements. So write down here he is ill by variable R. Indicate by variable R. Next one is that. He is not ill. But he is not ill which is a negation of this one. So no need to take a different variable. Therefore team will lose. So team will lose, it is again the negation of team will win. So no need to take again the variable which is indicate the team will lose. So in this way we have to different statement indicate by the different variable. In the next step we have to represent this whole things in a symbolic form, means in our argument form. So see here team will win. So for that we have to use the variable P. Here is the if and only if. So we write down that if and only if. Tom is able to play. So for Tom is able to play here become Q. So this first one we use as a P double implication Q. So we write down here P double implication Q, comma. Next one is a Tom is able to play. So see, for Tom is able to play it become Q. Here become or. So write down that or sign. He is ill, so we write down R. So Q or R. So this Q or R. Next one, he is not ill. So we write down he is ill negation. So he is ill is R. So its negation is a negation R. Next one is a therefore. So after that word, it is start our conclusion part. So we write down that sign. If in our theory information we given the word therefore, hence, conclusion, so we write down this sign, and then after this part we have to write down again that combinations part. So see, after this one, team will lose. So team will lose, which is a negation of team will win, and team will win we have to indicate by the P. So we taken here the negation P. In this way, our theoretical information we have to write down in our symbolic form, which is indicate one of the argument. So now again we have to solve this example by using the direct method. Write down the step and then reason. Here is a P double implication Q, Q or R, and negation R. So first of all we have to check whether which are useful to our simplification. So suppose we have to use P double implication Q, but we have to already know that P double implication Q we have to write down as a P implies Q, comma Q implies P by conditional equivalency on 1. See here. This P double implication Q, which is equivalent to P implies Q and Q implies P, which is equivalent to P and Q, or negation P and negation Q. And this same thing we have to write down in this form also. P implies Q, comma Q implies P, because when we have taken the comma between that two statement, so at that time there and is occur between them. So here P implies Q, Q implies P. So when we have to apply the chain rule over these two premises, we get our answer become P. Chain rule on second. Next one is, so we keep that as it is. Next one is we write down Q or R. This is our premises. Next one is the negation R. So again here negation R, and here R is it. R is as it is. So we write down our answer is a Q by disjunctive simplification on 4 and 5. Disjunctive simplification on 4 and 5. See, this become negation P and this become P or Q. So answer is a Q. Or either if you have to give on P or Q and negation Q, so at the time answer is a P. So in this way we get as a Q, but here P keep as it is and here we get as a Q. So by using both one we have to write down P and Q. So from third and sixth. But see what our answer become. Here become negation P, and what we have to get here, P and Q. So hence the argument is a invalid. Now is in our next discuss indirect method. So indirect method is a proof by contradiction, which means that we take a negation of the conclusion as an additional premises and show that it gives the contradiction. So see that example become, which is related to indirect method. So test the validity of following argument by using the indirect method. So we write down that whole argument as it is first of all, but here we have to use the indirect method. So in our indirect method what we have to done, see here, take the negation conclusion as an additional premises. So in our solution part we have to write down, suppose this is our conclusion, so its negation is negation R is an additional premise. Therefore we get the new set of premises. So this is our whole set, those we have to already given in our example. So we write down up to this one, and next one we have to add one of the additional premises is negation R here. So we have to start our step here. Write down the first column for the step, second for the reason. This P implies Q, Q implies R. So write down that both the premises in step first and second. We apply the chain rule over first and second. P implies Q, Q implies R. So our answer is the P implies R. So chain rule on first and second. So see, these two are used here. Next one is here is a P or R. So we write down here P or R is premises and negation R and negation R. So already we have to known that the rule of disjunctive simplification. So here negation R and here R. So answer become P. So write down disjunctive simplification on 4 and 5. Next one is so this one are also used and this one is also used. So now there are remains to use this one. So write down negation P is in a bracket P or R. This is our premise. But we have to already known that the De Morgan's law, which is related to this one. So apply the negation P, that R is converted to and negation R. So negation P and negation R. So De Morgan's law. Next one is but there is a remain to combine this R with any other. So we write down R and this one. So now R and this one. So we write down. We have to already known that those are contain the simplification terms are here, which are everyone are contain the and sign. So we write down R and this one. So this one. So we have to distribute the and over this bracket. So R and negation P. So the R and negation P and R and negation R. So R and negation R. But R and negation R, it is always false. This property we have to already study. Next one is R and negation P and with F, it is again as a F. This is the identity law using on 12. So see here we get as a F. So we get as a contradiction. Hence the given argument is a value. Okay, so today we have to stop here. Thank you.